So this is a pair of cordless hair trimmers, and the battery on this no longer works. I typically find with these cheap cordless head trimmers that they work well for a bit and then the batteries pretty much die after quite a short period of time. So what we're going to try and do is see if we can replace this battery and bring it back to life. So first thing to do is see if there are any screws. There's obviously 3 here, and let's undo all of those and see if we can get inside. Okay, we're in. So here you can see the battery pack here. So in this particular model, this seems to be glued in. If I just rip that out, we can see here that this particular one is 3.6 watts, 600 milliamp hours. Now that is quite low in my opinion, 600 milliamp hours, and that's not going to run very long. But the interesting thing on these battery packs is if you look at them, you can see they're actually made up of 3 individual cells, which basically look the same as AA's. So what we're going to try and do is see if we can recreate this using some kind of off-the-shelf rechargeables and connect them in series to give us the 3.6 volts, and these are actually 2,400 milliamp hours. So 3 of these should be significantly more powerful than the one that's in here. So yeah, let's disconnect this and start taking this pack apart to try and see what we have inside. So here we have the old and the new cell as a comparison. So the original cell, if we open it up, we can see it's made up of 3 AA batteries which are connected in series. I think here the reds are the positive and the silver are the negative. So what I did is take 3 AA's and connect them up pretty much the same. I managed to get the tabs off the original battery and attach them on either end, and then just used a wire to connect them. Now you should really use nickel strips and the proper spot welders, but I don't have any of that, so I opted to use a soldering iron. So I just roughed up the surfaces and used lots of flux and plenty of leaded solder in order to put this all together. But yeah, I think you just need to be careful that obviously you don't overheat the batteries, which would not be a good idea. But yeah, now that we've assembled that and taped it together, I'll bring in the multimeter. You can see that, and then we can just give it a test. If we get my hand out of the way, you can see here we're reading just over 4 volts. These are fully charged, so that should be fine. So right, next thing we need to do now is see if we can get this back into the clippers. So the next problem I faced was the fact that this battery pack is quite a bit longer than the original one. If you compare the two, you can see that where the positive terminals are, they stick out more because obviously they're just standard AA's, whereas on these they're completely flat. So what that means is when you try and stick this back in here, it doesn't quite fit. What I ended up having to do is, you can just see that, is that there was like a plastic cover here. It didn't really seem to be any kind of a bulkhead because it's kind of open on the side. So I basically just cut this out enough so that I can get this thing to fit in there now. So yeah, that should be pretty much it now. All I need to do is just reattach the wires, negative onto the battery negative and positive onto that, and then hopefully we should get it working again. So I'll get on, do that and come back when it's finished. So here we are now with the battery fitted and all the wires soldered into place. So if we switch it on, you can see it's come back to life. So yeah, the fix seemed to work okay. I think that it will probably take quite a bit longer now to fully charge this, given that the batteries in here are now much higher capacity, but I'll just have to see how it goes. But yeah, at least for now, it seems to be working. So yeah, hope this was useful, and thanks for watching.